Today's topic is liver function testing. Okay, so we are going to discuss on the liver function tests. There are various tests you must have heard while this learning liver diseases. So today we are going to discuss about on the importance of liver function test. What are the liver function test? What is the significance of that test? This part we are going to discuss today. Okay, very important part in liver function testing. These all conditions you can evaluate on the function on the test, that is normal liver or chronic hepatitis, then cirrhosis. What are the changes happens in hepatitis, in cirrhosis, or this hepatic cellular carcinoma, or this just wait, let me allow the peoples to enter.
Record.
Okay. So here with liver function test, we are going to evaluate the diseases, the diseases like hepatitis, cirrhosis, then hepatocellular carcinoma, and is end stage liver disease. Okay, ESLD, that is end stage liver disease. So what happens in that particular diseases? What are the changes occurs? That part we are going to discuss today. Okay. So LFT, that is liver function test, they are classified based on their functionality, the functions of the liver. This test, they are based on the functionality of the liver. So first is determination of liver capacity to transport organic compounds and drug metabolism. Okay. So this particular function, it get evaluated by this bilirubin, both in serum and in urine. So it includes bilirubin, test of bilirubin, both in serum and in the urine. So the types of bilirubin are total bilirubin, direct bilirubin, and indirect bilirubin. So significance of that bilirubin, as well as what are the characteristics of that particular form of bilirubin related to diagnosis of the disease. Okay, so the first is determination of the liver capacity. Okay, liver capacity to transport the organic components and the drug metabolism. The second function, it is related with the determination of the hepatocytic injuries. This includes the analysis of enzyme levels such as aminotransferase. It is the first one is aminotransferase, then alkaline phosphatase, and third one is gamma glutamyl transferase. So significance of these enzymes which evaluate the injury to the liver. Okay, how much injury and what is the uh, whether it is curable or incurable, all these things we can evaluate by study of this enzyme levels, aminotransferase, alkaline phosphatase, and gamma glutamyl transferase. Okay, so first one was about the liver capacity by evaluating the bilirubin. Then second one is determination of hepatocytic injuries. So that it is the enzyme related studies, aminotransferase, alkaline phosphatase, and gamma glutamyl transferase. Then third one is determination of biosynthesis capacity. Determination of biosynthesis capacity of the liver. So this involves determining the levels of the protein synthesized by liver, which include serum albumin, alpha-1, antitrypsin, and prothrombin. So this particular test evaluate about the protein synthesis. Okay, biosynthesis capacity, that is how much protein gets synthesized by the liver, what is the capacity. Okay, so for first one we will discuss. That is determination of the liver capacity to transport organic components and the drug metabolism. It includes the serum bilirubin. Okay, we have to evaluate the values of serum bilirubin. This bilirubin, it is formed through yes. What is the fate of RBC? How bilirubin is formed? Yes. How this bilirubin gets synthesized? So the bilirubin is formed through degradation of, yes, somebody is telling. So bilirubin is formed through degradation of hemoglobin, which is excreted out of the body through stool. Okay. So this bilirubin get excreted out of the body through stool. Increasing the bilirubin level above the normal range is suggestive of liver disease. So whenever there is abnormal rise in bilirubin in the serum than the normal range, so we can diagnose that there must be some defect in the liver capacity to transport this bilirubin for excretion. Okay. Now about total bilirubin. About total bilirubin. So total bilirubin, this is form of bilirubin is which is insoluble in the water and which includes both the conjugated and unconjugated form. So total bilirubin, it is the normal value of total bilirubin is about 1 milligram per cent. So this includes both conjugated form and unconjugated form of bilirubin, which is insoluble in the water. Now, direct bilirubin. Direct bilirubin, this is the form of bilirubin which is soluble in the water and gives the level of conjugated bilirubin in the serum sample. So this direct bilirubin is about the conjugated form of bilirubin in the serum sample, that is in the blood. And third, the normal values of this direct bilirubin is up to 0.25 milligram per cent. And within that particular 0.25 milligram per cent. Third one is indirect bilirubin. This is unconjugated fraction of bilirubin. Indirect bilirubin, it is a unconjugated fraction of bilirubin and is calculated by determining the difference of total and direct values. Okay, so the levels of bilirubin are estimated to check for the presence of liver diseases. So which type of diseases? Cirrhosis, hepatitis, or any harmful effects of the medications. It also proves the aid in analyzing the presence of gallstones or tumors of the pancreas. So these bilirubin levels, they are helpful for diagnosis of the diseases like cirrhosis, hepatitis, or any drug effects of the drug on the liver, various drugs on the liver. It also helps to diagnose the presence of gallstone and also the tumors of pancreas. Since the bilirubin is a byproduct of RBC destruction, all of you know that. Okay? So its estimation can also put the light on the conditions like hemolytic anemia. Okay? So bilirubin levels, they are helpful for diagnosis of various disease conditions. Then the stones also about the hemolytic anemia, the levels of bilirubin. Okay, so it is so much of important study of the serum bilirubin. Okay, so it included in the first function of the liver, that is liver capacity to transport the organic components and the drug about the drug metabolism. So both the values, they are checked, that is bilirubin in the serum and also in the urine, that is after excretion. What are the values of bilirubin after excretion, or it also determines the capacity of the liver. Okay, metabolic capacity of the liver. Okay. Now second one, that is determination of hepatocytic injuries. It includes the enzyme study, various enzyme studies. That is, first is alkaline phosphatase, that is ALP. This alkaline phosphatase, it is also called as ALP. And the values, normal values of alkaline phosphatase is 44 up to 147 international unit per liter. Please write it down, these values. Values of alkaline phosphatase, ALP. Values of alkaline phosphatase, that is ALP. The normal values of alkaline phosphatase are 44 to 147 international unit per liter. So where this enzyme present in the liver? So in the liver, this enzyme is present in the microvilli of the bile canaliculi and sinusoidal surface of the hepatocytes. So it is present in the liver, that is in the bile canaliculi and sinusoidal surface of the hepatocytes. So this alkaline phosphatase, it is present in the bone, which is synthesized by osteoblasts. It is also present in the bone and which is synthesized by osteoblasts, which are involved in the formation of bones. So hence elevation in the levels of this enzyme indicates the disorders about either liver and also, yes, what is the second one? Yes? All of you are attentive now? Or you are feeling sleepy after eating modak? Yes?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Then
No, ma'am.
be attentive and answer my questions. We are now talking about alkaline phosphatase, and in the is synthesized by the, yes, present in the microvilli of the bile canaliculi and sinusoidal surface of the hepatocytes, and also it is present in the bone synthesized by osteoblasts. Okay, so which is a very important enzyme which helps in the formation of bones. Okay, so the elevation of this alkaline phosphatase indicates disorder of liver, and also, yes, which organ? Yes. So it indicates the disorder of bones. Okay. Am I audible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So in the liver, the bile duct blockage can cause increased level of this enzyme. Okay. So the conditions like cirrhosis, then cancer, hepatitis, it causes moderate increase in the levels of alkaline phosphatase in the blood. So whenever this bile duct get blocked, either it may be due to cancerous growth or it may be due to the gallstones. The levels of this alkaline phosphatase get raised, and also the conditions like cirrhosis, then cancer, hepatitis, it also causes the moderate increase in the level of alkaline phosphatase. Then the conditions like hypothyroidism, then pernicious anemia, zinc deficiency, it causes decrease in the levels of alkaline phosphatase. Okay, so the levels get rises in case of blockage of the bile duct, then cirrhosis, cancer of the liver, or hepatitis. And the levels of ALP, that is alkaline phosphatase, get decreases in the conditions like hypothyroidism, pernicious anemia, and zinc deficiency, in which the levels of ALP decreases below 44 international unit per liter. It should be in between 44 to 147 international unit per liter. Okay. So the first enzyme we talked about, which determines the hepatocytic injury, is alkaline phosphatase. Okay. Then second, this aminotransferase. About aminotransferase, we are talking now about aminotransferase. So there are two parts included with this aminotransferase, that is the liver function test. Is the first one is AST, that is aspartate aminotransferase, AST. This aminotransferase, there are two important enzymes. Uh, we always, it is important to evaluate any liver diseases of the liver from the aminotransferase group. Okay, enzyme. Two enzymes, there are byproduct, two enzymes. AST, that is aspartate aminotransferase, and the normal levels of aspartate aminotransferase is 10 to 40 units per liter. 10 to 40 units per liter aspartate aminotransferase. It is also called as SGOT, that is serum glutamate oxaloacetic transaminase. SGOT, that is AST. It is also known as previously SGOT, serum glutamate oxaloacetic transaminase. SGOT. The normal levels of this is AST, that is SGOT, is 10 to 40 units per liter. Then second one is ALT. ALT, that is alanine aminotransferase. Alanine aminotransferase. The levels, the range of levels, the normal levels of alanine aminotransferase, that is ALT, are 7 to 56 units per liter. And it is also known as ALT, it is also known as SGPT, serum glutamic pyruvic transaminase. SGPT, serum glutamic pyruvic transaminase. So these two tests are very, very significant to determine any injury to the hepatocytes. AST, that is SGOT, and ALT, that is, it is also known as SGPT. SGOT is serum glutamate oxaloacetic transaminase, and SGPT is serum glutamic pyruvic transaminase. Now, the AST, that is aspartate aminotransferase, it is present in wide number of the tissues like heart, then kidneys, brain, and liver. AST, it is present in wide number in the tissues like tissues of heart, kidneys, brain, and liver. So this AST, that is SGOT, it indicates the injury to that organs also, not only liver, but it also indicates the injury to the heart, to the kidneys, to the brain, other than the liver. Okay, AST. But ALT, that is alanine aminotransferase, it is primarily present in the liver only. So among these two, ALT is considered as a better parameter and more specific to the liver. ALT, it is also known as SGPT. Okay, it is more specific for the liver injuries or any pathology with the liver. The two aminotransferase are mostly analyzed in the individual undergoing the treatment for liver diseases, and which are done to evaluate its efficacy of the liver. Okay, so the levels and the values of SGOT and SGPT are very, very important. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. If there is any query, you can interrupt. Okay. Now, third enzyme we are talking about is this. Third one is gamma glutamyl transferase, GGT. It is also called as GGT, gamma glutamyl transferase. This enzyme is largely localized in the pancreas, liver, kidneys, intestine, and prostates. Okay, so this liver, it is synthesized or it is present in the other organs than liver are pancreas, kidneys, intestine, and prostate. In the liver, it is present in the microsomes of the hepatocyte. In the hepatocyte, it is present. And this gamma glutamyl transferase levels, that is GGT levels, are higher in infants and individuals beyond the age of 60. So extremes of age, these levels, they are higher physiologically. And in pathology, the conditions such as viral hepatitis, the levels of GGT are elevated, which remains so far up to the 6 weeks of illness. So in the viral hepatitis, that is hepatitis A, hepatitis B, hepatitis C. So this viral type of hepatitis, the levels of GGT, that is gamma glutamyl transferase, they are remain elevated up to 6 weeks of illness. Then the levels of ALT, what is ALT? Yes,
Alanine aminotransferase.
ALT is alanine
Alanine aminotransferase.
and GGT.
GGT. Gamma glutamyl transferase.
Yes. Both levels are raised in or rises in cholestatic disorders and other conditions like pancreatitis, then myocardial infarction, diabetes mellitus, it causes rise in the GGT levels. Okay. So this ALT, that is alanine aminotransferase, and GGT levels, both these levels, they are raised in the cholestatic disorders like gallstone diseases. Okay. But the other conditions like pancreatitis and myocardial infarction, diabetes mellitus, they causes rise in the only GGT levels, gamma glutamyl transferase levels. Understood? Is there is any
Yes, ma'am.
about gamma glutamyl transferase? It is present in the
No, no.
hepatosomes of hepatocytes. Okay, and the levels of which they are higher in the infants and the individuals. Okay. Gamma glutamyl transferase. Here again it is given against the controls, various controls, and it is given in minimum and maximum the average values of this particular conditions, this particular enzymes or the study. Okay. So here it may be difficult for you to understand. It is minimum values and maximum values of this. It is given against the controls, various controls. Here it is given the normal values, but here the value of HGPT, it is given little bit wrong. It is not 10 to 40 international unit per liter. It should be 7 to in between 7 to 56 units per liter. Okay. Here you have to correct this. Other values are normal. Okay. These are the normal range of this test and the various tests. Okay. Okay. So today we discussed about the liver function test. The first part we discussed about, that is the liver function test, which determine the capacity to transport the organic component, that is about bilirubin, that is serum bilirubin levels. Serum bilirubin we talked about with total bilirubin, direct bilirubin, and indirect bilirubin. Okay. Second part we discussed that determination of the hepatocytic injuries. There are various functions given of this liver, like yes, the functions of the liver, that is here it is in this slide, it is given that liver is the largest and most complex internal organ. Then all blood flow from intestine and pancreas reaches liver via portal venous circulation, that all of you know. Liver is a multifunctional organ. Okay. So the first important function is metabolic function. Liver is actively participates in carbohydrate metabolism, lipid metabolism, protein, mineral, vitamins, vitamin metabolisms. Okay. And the second more important function is excretory function, that is excretion of bile pigments, bile salts, and cholesterol. Okay, all this get excreted in the bile duct, and it will later on it will get excreted into the intestine. Okay, so we have to evaluate this metabolic functions, whether it is normal or abnormal, whether excretory function is normal or abnormal. So these are the, in this slide, they are given this function of the liver, various functions, that is production of proteins, bile drainage, store vitamins and minerals, detoxify, then metabolism, various metabolisms, and filter blood. Okay, all these functions, the important functions of the liver. And today we discussed about the liver capacity, the test to evaluate the liver capacity, and the test to determine the hepatocytic injuries. And we talked about related with these three enzymes, importance of study of these three enzymes, that is alkaline phosphatase, aminotransferase, and gamma glutamyl transferase. Okay. The next part we are going to discuss in next lecture, that is determination of biosynthesis capacity of liver. That part is remained, so that part we are going to discuss in next lecture. Okay, next lecture, that means on Wednesday, not today. Today I'm just only going to take one meeting. Okay, so this third part we are going to discuss on Wednesday. Okay, for winter batch, this part is remain that we are going to discuss on Wednesday. Is there is any query about this taught part, today's part? Yes, this is very
What
important.
is the normal value of GGT?
Normal values of GGT, that is gamma
GGT.
amino. Tell you. Okay. This GGT indicates, yes, GGT indicates which type of diseases?
Diabetes,
Yes.
mellitus, pancreatitis, myocardial infarction.
Normal values of GGT, they are 9 to 48 units per liter. Okay. So it indicates the damage of the liver. Okay. If the levels of GGT they are raised, then you have to undergo various other tests. Okay. To determine the biosynthesis capacity of the liver or whether there is hepatocytic injury. So the other test you have to perform here, that is alkaline phosphatase and aminotransferase also along with this GGT. So if the levels of GGT rises, then you have to perform these other tests. And the normal value for GGT is 9 to 48 units per liter. Okay. And normally the levels they are raised and higher in the infants and also the age beyond 60. As the degenerative process starts after 60, then the that is degenerative function of the liver starts after 60. Capacity of the liver decreases. Okay. So here we can get the higher values of GGT. And also they are raised in the infants. Okay, and these levels they remain raised up to 6 weeks of illness. So after 6 weeks also this level we can get the higher at a higher side. Okay. So next Wednesday we will talk about the determination of biosynthesis capacity of the liver. That is about the serum proteins. Okay. Albumin and globin. what is the significance of albumin and globin, and also the ratio, total proteins also. That part is remained, and that part we are going to discuss on Wednesday. Is that okay? So today I'm going to close this meeting, and we will meet winter batch. If you want to take participate on Monday, Tuesday for your revision, that is degeneration part that I'm going to take on Monday and Tuesday. Degeneration part for this summer 2021 batch. Okay. Okay. So we will meet on Monday.